On behalf of the Dog Ball Committee, the Greater Huntsville Humane Society, and the City of Huntsville, welcome to the 32nd Annual Dog Ball.
Welcome to the Huntsville Humane Society Annual Dog Ball. This event has long been one of my favorites, and I've enjoyed the experience of debuting one of my own pets, Maggie, a lovable Labrador. The Dog Ball has certainly become part of our community's DNA. We come together to help animals and people in need. Please join me in supporting this worthy cause by virtually meeting some of our area's most beloved pets and bidding online for awesome silent auction items donated by local businesses, friends, and neighbors. All acts of kindness make a difference. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are two of three hosts for tonight's 32nd Annual Dog Ball. We're filming here in what will be the future home of Three Tails Resale Store.
Now, although we are virtual tonight, we want to preserve some of our beloved dog ball traditions, like very important dogs, featured working dogs, and of course, the silent auction.
We're also bringing in some new features like interesting stories about famous dogs and helpful tips from one of our good veterinarian friends.
The Dog Ball Committee would like to extend grateful shout outs to all of our sponsors, donors, supporters, and of course, volunteers.
Without you, the Greater Huntsville Humane Society couldn't do all that they do.
It's wonderful to be in a community that loves animals as much as we do. Now take a look at what the Humane Society does for animals in need.
The mission of the Greater Huntsville Humane Society focuses on creating a more humane environment for animals in North Alabama. We do that through, of course, adoption and fostering, but also through community assistance and humane education programs. So we do at the Greater Huntsville Humane Society quite a bit of community outreach and community assistance. We have what's called the Helping Paws program that's broken up into three separate categories. The first is King's Community Kitchen, which is North Alabama's only and Alabama's largest pet food bank for families who may have fallen on hard times or are unable to pay for food for their pets or litter for their cats. They can come once a month to King's Kitchen and not have to make the heartbreaking choice between paying a bill or feeding their family and putting food in bowls for their pets as well. We also have the Pet Wellness Clinic, which is with Dr. Holt from Rocket City Mobile Vet. She comes once a month as well for our pet wellness clinics. Same thing, we offer low-cost veterinary services, vaccinations, and preventives for families who may not be able to afford it. This has become more needed this year than ever before. Lastly, we have a Good Samaritan program. This is a voucher program that offers emergency assistance to pets that may have fallen into an emergency situation and owners are incapable of financially fixing that. So we'll get contacted by either an owner or an emergency vet clinic to help pay for those bills.
Wow, the Humane Society does a lot. Before we really get going on tonight's show, here's our friend, private chef and mixologist, Rick Vaughn.
Now I hope you've got a glass and some handcrafted Tito's vodka ready. Rick is here to show us tonight's signature cocktail.
Hey, thanks guys. My name's Rick and I'm here to teach you probably the most technical drink you've ever seen. Tonight we're making the hair of the dog. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to use our fine sponsors, vodka, Tito's. We're gonna put, about 1.5 ounces in there. Next, we're moving to our Bloody Mary mix. You can use a tomato juice. Want about that much, maybe 2 ounces. And I don't particularly like the rim of my glass seasoned, so I go ahead and just put the dill pickle salt into the glass itself. A little bit of ice. Take another glass, mix it back and forth. And there it is, the hair of the dog. And in case you missed it, here it is again.
That was the hair of the dog. Now let's see Rick's plussed up version of the Bloody Mary.
Now, the Bloody Mary is a drink that is pretty much considered a blank slate. You can pretty much do whatever you want with it. What I like to do is start off with a little bit of hot sauce. A little bit of Worcestershire. Something that's not very common, a little bit of barbecue sauce. And a little bit of barbecue rub. Next thing, we go back to Tito's vodka. Same amount, about 1.5 ounces. Next, we go to our mix, and we're gonna go about 2 ounces with that. A little bit of ice. Again, the same process, mixing back and forth. Get it nice and combined, blended. There we go. We're gonna take the rest of our ice, put it on our glass, pour it in like so. A little bit more of the tomato. Lemon always helps to brighten it up. Do a little sprig. Now I like to do the heart of the celery, a lot of flavor in there. Add in any kind of protein you want. These are shrimp, obviously. You can do bacon, crispy prosciutto, whatever you want. Now, we'd like to thank Tito's again for being one of the sponsors for this wonderful program. Mark and Kyle, cheers.
Cheers, Rick. It's gonna be a fun night, Mark.
Absolutely. Now, some people do need a little hair of the dog now and then.
Now, Mark, do you have any furry friends at home?
I do. We have 3 pups, Cookie, Artemis, and Puck.
Oh, those are great names.
I love these guys. They're the best puppies ever.
I had a dog named Blue. He was my best friend for 11 years. He passed away in 2020, but 2021 is the year I get to go find a new best friend.
And you're going to find a great one. If it wasn't for organizations like the Humane Society, I wouldn't have my precious pups now.
Now, tonight's silent auction is one way you can help support this vital cause. Here's how to bid.
Go to dogball.givesmart.com on your computer, phone, or iPad and click on View Items. Click on the item or items you want to see, for example, item 702. The selected item description will display. If you want to see item thumbnails in expanded form, click on the thumbnail you would like to expand and then click on the magnifying glass. Close the expanded view by clicking on the X in the top right corner of the screen to return to the item description page. If you are already a registered user and have signed in to bid on an item, follow the system prompts to place your bid. If you have never been to the site before, you will be asked to register before placing a bid. Follow the system prompts to complete your registration. If you would like to auto bid, click on the Auto Bid tab and enter the amount you're willing to bid. The system will increase your bid automatically until your set amount is reached, in much the same way bidding on eBay works. If you are outbid, the system will alert you and enable you to increase your bid. Please read the available delivery information contained in each item description. If an item needs to be shipped, shipping costs will be incurred by the winner. If you win your selected item, you will be automatically checked out when the auction ends at 9:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, February 6th, 2021. Happy bidding.
That is easy. You can see items, bid, and check out all online.
Tonight's bidding is open until 9:30 Central Time.
Next up, we'll hear from one of the Humane Society's longtime loyal sponsors, Dunnigan Yates and Allison Plastic Surgery Center, Dr. Michael Yates.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Yates. I'd like to take a moment to thank the Greater Huntsville Humane Society for all the wonderful things it does for our four-legged friends here in Huntsville and surrounding communities. For many years, my wife Casey and I have loved attending and supporting the Dog Ball. What a fun event to meet new dogs, hear their stories, meet their owners, and renew friendships with other people who have a love for animals. At Dunnigan Yates and Allison Plastic Surgery Center, we have enjoyed supporting the Dog Ball, including sponsoring tickets for the Westminster Dog Show, as well as a generous gift card to help with the expenses. So as you participate and enjoy the virtual dog ball, don't forget this prize. It's a great way to support the Humane Society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yates, for your continued support of the dog ball. Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie Walker, and tonight I'm going to share some amazing true stories about dogs throughout history. But before we do that, we're going to bring on the very important dogs, or what we call the VIDs.
Tennyson and Pellinor. Tennyson is a distinguished 8-year-old gentleman Great Dane who was adopted from a Great Dane breed rescue in Tennessee. Tennyson is very intelligent, wise, and photogenic. He uses his stunning blue eyes and captivating personality to mesmerize you into doing his bidding. Tennyson loves to play with his doggy daycare friends and be petted and complimented by everyone who has the good sense to know that he is indeed something special. Pellinor, also a Great Dane, is almost 2 and is a giant goof. Where Tennyson is more of an intellectual, Pellinor wishes he would be drafted into the NHL as an enforcer. Pellinor is always down to clown and a lot of fun if at all times you bear in mind that he is a big, surprisingly graceful, and exceptionally quick for his size dude who can take you out without even trying. In all of their various escapades, Tennyson plans the missions and Pellinor carries them out. Sparky is a 16-month-old Havanese who joined his family in January of 2020. It is impossible not to be in love with this little guy. When Sparky is not barking at the neighborhood dogs walking by our house, he loves having his belly rubbed and being among his humans as well as playing with other dogs. He is driven by treats and he is very smart. He has trained his humans to get his food, take him outside, get him his morning treat, and take him on a WALK. You can't say the word unless you're ready to go. Every morning between 8 and 9 a.m., he pushes closed his dad's laptop to signal that it's time for his walk. Who says dogs can't tell time? Boogie Woogie is a Catahoula leopard dog who joined his human family from a new leash on life. Since he is a high-energy herding dog, his human decided to try his skills at agility. Before COVID, Boogie was also in training to become a therapy dog through Heart to Heart Therapy Dogs. He hopes to return to his therapy dog training when it's safe to resume. In the meantime, this happy-go-lucky guy enjoys living life to the fullest every day. Oliver and Woody. Oliver is a 12-year-old Dachshund mix who loves going for walks. For such a little dog, he gets around. His favorite part of the day is mealtime, which he spends on his hind legs begging for his favorite treat, bacon. He is so photogenic and is always game to dress up. Woody is almost 2 years old and he is a Labrador mix. Woody can hardly contain his excitement when he hears the word walk. When Woody is done with all his exercise, he enjoys hours of sleep on his favorite couch. Woody is quite intelligent and knows many tricks.
Wow, those are some good-looking pups for sure.
They really are. We appreciate the support of our VID families, and we love seeing them shine every year. Later, we have more VIDs to look forward to.
And of course, remember to get those silent auction item bids in now.
What's coming next will melt your heart. We have our very own dog bowl.
And it is complete with opposing teams and non-stop action. These puppies are ready to go.
The lineup for this year's Dog Bowl features 8 rowdy siblings ready to tear into some action. First up, Lil Barky. He's a cuddle monster. Next up, Bella. She loves attention. Woofer brings the bass. And Cooper loves treats. These little pups really are ready for action. Next up, Mr. Sniff. He's got a nose for trouble. Molly Wags is ready to tussle. And Scout knows the way. Finally, Madison, she's here for the hugs and treats. These siblings are going to leave it all on the field in the Dog Bowl.
Who doesn't love a cute puppy?
Yeah, I know. I'll take all 8, please.
I wish I had a fraction of their energy.
And you know what? They looked pretty smart, too.
Well, speaking of smart, the other day an officer came to my door saying that our dog had been chasing someone on a bike. Well, I told the officer, that's ridiculous. Our dog is smart, but he can't ride a bike.
Now, if you didn't think that was funny, I'm going to encourage you to drink some more of that Tito's signature cocktail right now, because we do have more jokes coming up later in the show.
And I'd like to encourage our viewers to go to dogball.givesmart.com and check out all of our auction items and place a bid.
Now it's time for a short break from our sponsors and a message from our gracious hosts, News 19.
At Tito's Handmade Vodka, dogs have been part of our story for over 20 years. Since we started, strays have been wandering up to the distillery. We feed them, get them healthy, and someone here always falls in love and brings them home. They chose us early on, so we were naturally inspired to help them in every way we can. We're vodka for dog people. Our program is built on over 800 annual animal-related nonprofit partnerships, events, and campaigns. Each one shares the goal to better lives of pets and their families far and wide. We support other companies' efforts to create dog-friendly work environments like ours. And 100% of the net proceeds from dog swag sold in our web store benefit Emancipet's affordable veterinary services at their ever-expanding system of clinics. There's always dogs around at Tito's. We wouldn't know what to do without them.
The forces of nature with confidence. Whatever tomorrow brings, rest assured the Weather Authority has you covered. From helping you conquer your day,
if you're wondering how in the world am I supposed to dress today,
to helping you stay aware.
So take things slow and safe this morning.
We don't just cover the what, but the why.
Now, the reason it's so cold and dry is because of this area of high pressure.
Trained and dedicated, our team helps you feel ready for the day. We are the Weather Authority.
Welcome back. Can you guys believe those puppies in the dog bowl? I want to boop all of their little snoots. So, Mark, you like jokes? Here's one for you. Why was the pug such a good storyteller? Because he knew how to pause for effect. Get it? Get it? Because I'm here to tell stories about dogs? All right, anyway. I'm excited to be here, even though it meant leaving my own furry friends at home. My Marceline, and then there's the ever dignified Zelda. My fur babies are amazing to me and my family, but let me tell you a little bit about a dog named Bud. Bud Nelson was the very first dog to cross the United States in an automobile. It was 1903, and Bud and his human, Nelson Jackson, set out on their trip. The car was roofless, which is why he wore those cute little goggles. But as cute as they were, they protected Bud from the smoke and fumes created by cars at that time. Bud may not be with us anymore, but his goggles can be seen now at the Smithsonian Museum of American History. Pretty cool, right? What a sweetie. Now it's time for more of our illustrious VIDs. But before we go there, you can text the word dog ball to 65479 to make a donation.
Chesterton hails from a rescue in Olive Branch, Mississippi. He's a very lovable social guy with both his dog friends and his humans. He has a great nose, and every walk is punctuated by numerous stops to find out who was previously at every mailbox. His favorite indoor activity is ripping the stuffing out of his toys and carrying around his soggy treasures. This lovable boy stands out among his peers by his stark black and white coat. He receives regular compliments on his appearance, but these haven't gone to his head yet. He remains the same humble character he's always been. Chesterton has happily taken over the house and hearts of his humans. Griffin is a sweet, energetic black Labrador puppy who is ready to play with anyone and anything at any time. Running, hiking, fetching, swimming, or playing with other dogs, you name it, he's just happy to do anything active. Because he burns off a lot of energy being active, he also loves to eat anything and everything in sight. Griffin absolutely loves his family and relishes spending time with them, either horsing around or being the recipient of their love and attention. Yoshi is a 3.5-year-old Miki. What is a Miki, you may ask? A Miki is a crossbreed of Maltese, Papillon, and Japanese Chin. Renowned for a gentle nature, the Miki is calm, adaptable, and delightfully gremlin-like in appearance. Yoshi loves to lay in your lap and give you sweet, sweet kisses, and she likes to dance too. She also loves her toys. Even though she is quite small, she's an excellent guard dog. Lucy is a chocolate Labrador Retriever mix. She's about a year old, and she is another success story adoption from the Humane Society. Lucy likes to carry around her squishy ball. To her, that ball is the best thing ever. She loves to chew on her treat bones and sleep and play with her friend Abby, who is also a VID this year. Lucy is a love bug who has lots of dog and human friends, and she never meets a stranger. You cannot help but smile when you see her happy and excited because she has a cute, uniquely Lucy, sassy butt sway.
Wow, some very impressive VIDs. Stephanie, I really enjoyed that Bud story.
Now, Stephanie, this is my turn. I've got one for you, or rather a package deal. How many dogs does it take to change a light bulb? Now, the Border Collie says, just one. I'll replace all the bulbs and update the wiring.
Nice.
The Jack Russell says, I'll just pop around and change it while I'm bouncing off the walls. Now, that Australian Shepherd says, well, first I've got to get all the bulbs in a circle. But it's the poodle you have to watch out for. I'll just blow in that Border Collie's ears and make him do all the work while my nails dry.
I tried to warn you folks. Actually, not a bad job there, Mark. You and Stephanie might be ready for the road soon. Now, what we have coming up next is a very unique look at our Greater Huntsville Humane Society facility.
This is definitely a different kind of tour. Let's take a look.
Oh my goodness gracious. This is so exciting. New places are so much fun. Wait, is it safe? Okay, Mumsy says we're all good. What's this? A beautiful indoor bathroom just for me? And look at all these puppies. What's next? Look at all these harnesses and leashes. Going out for walks is the absolute best. Do they have my color? Mumsy says this is where the humans sign in. And the people here are so friendly. Ha-ha! Okay, they said there's more interesting stuff back here. What's this? Exam room? Oh, no! This is not where I intended to go. I smell something interesting over here. Yikes! Much more friendly in here. Maybe I can find a buddy. Let's go outside now. I know this guy is loving the fresh air, but clearly it's not for me. He told me there's food in here. Mumsy says it's not for me, though. It's for the pups and kittens less fortunate than me. Oh my! I found the most exciting part. Look at me go! Clearly, I have dominated this tour. I hope you had as much fun as I did.
Winston was an excellent tour guide.
He was quite assertive during that sign-in process.
And what about all of those adorable puppies looking for forever homes?
Yeah, I cannot imagine many of them will be without a home for much longer. I mean, what a bunch of awesome pups.
Next, we have more of our very own VIDs whose families love them so much they can't wait to share their story with everyone watching.
And we can't forget about those silent auction items. They're not gonna bid on themselves, folks.
This is Abby. She's a 12-year-old fox red Labrador Retriever who is quite certain that everyone she meets loves dogs, and so it logically follows that everyone loves her, and she would be right. She is an older dog, so to maintain her girlish figure and muscle mass, she participates in underwater treadmill therapy. Abby has lots of dog and human friends who stop by to visit because Abby is so sweet. Winifred, or Winnie for short, is a lovely Border Collie mix who is 2 years old. Winnie loves playing with her favorite bunny, giving hugs, snuggling, and swimming. Winnie is the best spooner, hands down. She excels at being the little spoon while relaxing and sleeping with her human. She is very loyal and social, and she loves other people and dogs. Driving Miss Daisy is a 3-year-old Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever. These dogs were bred primarily for hunting, but also do well in performance sports and as companion dogs. Daisy is an enthusiastic, energetic girl who loves spending time with her humans and is always ready for an adventure. Daisy loves traveling anywhere in the car, particularly to visit her Canadian family in Nova Scotia. A favorite pastime is riding with her human dad on the tractor around their property. Daisy loves training and is looking forward to exploring new sports such as dock diving and tracking. Although she is having fun with her competition and training, the award she is most likely to receive is Miss Congeniality.
While we all love our pups, there are those out there that have a very special bond and some extra training.
And while we deeply appreciate those who serve our country, maybe none more so than the loving service dogs that mean so much to their companions.
Our next segment introduces a very accomplished serviceman and his loyal buddy.
Please join us in welcoming Jay and Duke.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Jay Thayer. I'm a retired Chief Warrant Officer 4 from the United States Army, and this is Duke. I joined the Marine Corps at 19, did my first 7 years in the Marine Corps as a reconnaissance Marine. In 1999, I did an inter-service transfer to the United States Army to become a warrant officer. Flew AH-64 Apache attack helicopters, both Alpha and Delta models, for about 7 years. 4 combat deployments and 20 years and 9 months, and I was done. Duke and I met in 2017, so he's 3 years old. We got him out of a breeder in Barry, Alabama, who breeds for law enforcement, military, Department of Homeland Security. He's a Belgian Malinois, so I needed a dog that was about 10% crazier than I am, and just as motivated. So Duke and I at first had a bit of a tentative relationship. It was Belgian Malinois are pretty aggressive and they're highly, highly motivated. They have a lot of energy, as you can see. But once I learned to work with them and once I learned what he wanted to do, once I learned what he wanted and he learned what I wanted, it was, we're inseparable. As a service dog, he is acutely aware of me and my surroundings and my family. He's protection, he's trained for tracking, he's trained for all kinds of things, and we've branched out to do all kinds of stuff in the community, things like this, and he's helped me open up a little and be out in the community a little easier and be in places where in the past I wouldn't want to be.
What an amazing story. We are so thankful to pups out there like Duke who give so much love and healing to so many.
And of course, we're very thankful to Jay for his service to our country.
It really is amazing how much good can be done by the love of a furry friend.
Thanks again, Jay and Duke, and of course, all the service people and service dogs.
You may easily guess what's up next.
More VIDs?
More VIDs. Keep those auction bids coming.
Emmett, whose formal name is Silver Grand Champion Keel Mountain Fortissimo, is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. But don't let his formal name or his dog show pedigree fool you. Emmett is an avid snuggler who likes charming pretty girls and earning treats. Emmett competes in junior showmanship, where both the handler and the dog are judged. Much to his delight, both Emmett and Ellen are consistently ranked in the top 10. Emmett knows that some of his kinsmen are the favorite royal dogs of Queen Elizabeth II, but he chooses to remain humble on that score. Barkley and Woody. You've heard of Clifford the big red dog. Barkley's humans call him Barkley, the big white dog. He was the biggest in his litter and the biggest golden doodle the breeder ever had. Barkley is very smart and uses the power of his puppy dog eyes to see into your soul and, of course, get treats. He loves his humans, swimming, standing on his hind legs in the pool with his front paws on a float, dressing up, watching TV, especially dog shows, and going on walks. Woody Block is a 2-year-old Bernedoodle. He's a big, goofy, lovable guy. He loves everyone and he is always happy. When he grows up, Woody wants to be a therapy dog. Connor is a 15-month-old German Shepherd Australian cattle dog mix. On the night of the 2020 Dog Ball, Connor had been turned in by his previous owners that very day. One look and that was all it took. Connor's humans left the Dog Ball that night, taking their newest fur baby home to meet his pupper brothers. Connor loves swimming, tug of war, and playing fetch with his human brothers. Connor is a loyal, loving, and exuberant guy. He's the 6th rescue dog his humans have adopted. Their first was adopted from the Greater Huntsville Humane Society 30 years ago.
Another impressive group of VIDs.
Yeah, we'd like to again thank all the VIDs and their families for the support they give our Greater Huntsville Humane Society. They're an integral part of this event every year.
The Humane Society also has amazing support from some of our community's veterinarians.
Yeah, one of those is the awesome Dr. Wes.
He's coming to us from Chase Animal Hospital with some good info.
What should a dog with a healthy weight look like?
Because there are so many different breeds and sizes of a dog, we generally grade their weight more on a body condition score. And so that's a score of 1 to 9, where 1 is really, really skinny and 9 is morbidly obese. And an ideal weight range falls in that 4.5 to 5 area. Typically in that 4.5 to 5 range, we have a quality abdominal tuck. We can feel our dog's ribs and their hips and musculature. You can palpate that and see some definition.
What can I do to make my pet's visit to the vet as pleasant as possible?
Focusing specifically on dogs, it does relate to each individual patient. Some of my personal patients that have much higher stress levels just as soon as they pull into the parking lot, or even maybe as soon as they load up into the car, that at times can be mitigated by taking them on drives other places, or potentially integrating some sort of mild anxiolytic or even sedatives at times, just to ease their stress level coming into the clinic. Other things, if the dog gets stressed in the waiting room, what we'll do is just hold on and have them hang out with the owner outside or in their car until it's time for their appointment, and we'll go straight into the room and do everything in one fell swoop and try to get them out as soon as possible.
Thanks, Dr. West. Now it's time for another break with our sponsors and News 19.
And another drink.
You do you, Kyle.
Hey, Rick, you still here? Where's that Tito's?
At Tito's Handmade Vodka, dogs have been part of our story for over 20 years. Since we started, strays have been wandering up to the distillery. We feed them, get them healthy, and someone here always falls in love and brings them home. They chose us early on, so we were naturally inspired to help them in every way we can. We're vodka for dog people. Our program is built on over 800 annual animal-related nonprofit partnerships, events, and campaigns. Each one shares the goal to better lives of pets and their families far and wide. We support other companies' efforts to create dog-friendly work environments like ours. And 100% of the net proceeds from dog swag sold in our web store benefit Emancipet's affordable veterinary services at their ever-expanding system of clinics. There's always dogs around at Tito's. We wouldn't know what to do without them.
Face the forces of nature with confidence. Whatever tomorrow brings, rest assured the Weather Authority has you covered. From helping you conquer your day,
If you're wondering how in the world am I supposed to dress today,
to helping you stay aware,
So take things slow and safe this morning.
we don't just cover the what, but the why.
Now, the reason it's so cold and dry is because of this area of high pressure.
Trained and dedicated, our team helps you feel ready for the day. We are the Weather Authority.
Let's talk a little bit about separation anxiety. It's always been around, it's always going to be here, but you gotta think, this year we've been home with our dogs more than ever, and now we're starting to go back to work and get back to normal. So what does that look like at home? First of all, make sure you train your dog to be alone even if you're there, whether it's a crate, a different room, a place with a mat somewhere, backyard, wherever that is, make sure your dog is by himself a couple hours every day. Change up your routine. So if your routine is maybe you go to your bedroom, you put on your shoes, you grab your purse and your wallet, and then you go to the kitchen and grab your keys and leave, let's change that up. Go put on your shoes, watch TV. Maybe grab your purse and your wallet or go cook dinner. Maybe even go put on your coat, walk to the door, open it, shut it, go sit down and watch TV. So change up that routine so the dog doesn't really know what's going on. Also, low-key greetings and low-key goodbyes. How many times when you leave for work are you in your dog's face, you're loving on him, you're telling him goodbye, and then you leave and you come back and same thing, you're so excited. So let's take that back a little bit. Low-key greetings and goodbyes. You know, pet your dog, give him his Kong, leave for the day. Come back in, go do what you need to do, then come back and love on your dog. So let's lower that down. Let's lower that energy, and that way the dog won't get as worked up. And the last thing, you can actually train your dog to be alone with a stuffed Kong. So stuff the Kong, give it to your dog, walk out the door 5 seconds, come back, take the Kong away. You want your Kong? Here you go. Give the Kong, gone for 10 seconds, come back, take the Kong away. So we're gonna lengthen how long you're gone while that dog is getting comfortable eating on his stuffed Kong, and then he's gonna realize I'm getting my Kong while mom and dad are leaving. So just a couple tips and tricks. Make sure if you do have separation anxiety going on now, you do get with a trainer or behaviorist, because that is very important. It can be reversed, but every case is different. So good luck, and I hope this helped.
Thanks again to all our sponsors and supporters. And don't forget, you can text DOGBALL to 65479 to make a donation. And now it's story time again. You may have heard of this pup from the movies as well. Introducing Sergeant Stubby. He's a real American hero. This patriotic pup served in World War I for 18 months. He successfully saved his regiment from surprise gas attacks and once helped capture a German soldier by grabbing him by his pants. A true hero. I wonder what Sergeant Stubby would think of the Westminster Dog Show. So remember our impressive puppy lineup earlier? Mark and Kyle, what are they up to now?
Well, Stephanie, our Stars and Stripes are on the field and they're looking good.
They look like they have the energy of a human football team.
Or a herd of toddlers in a bouncy house, hopped up on Mountain Dew and Skittles, maybe?
Hey, let's check them out.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Dog Bowl.
Let's jump right into the action on the field. These pups are ready to play ball, and it should be a good competition between the Stars and the Stripes, and we're off.
These little guys waste no time in getting to the ball. Looks like somebody needs a quick scratch break. It looks like the Stripes are outnumbering the Stars in terms of pups around the ball.
Oh, this little fella just bonked in the face. Let's see that again in slow motion.
The ball takes a bad bounce and makes a connection.
Oh, this little guy is tough. He shakes it off and is back in the game.
There are a lot of balls in play at the moment. Who will be the first team to get in the end zone?
We have a Star and a Stripe making a play for this one in the middle of the field. And it looks like the Star got his front leg wrapped up in his bandana.
Could be an advantage for the Stripes.
We got a sleepy Stripe here. They might want to take a timeout soon.
And look at this little fella for the Stars. He's taking control of the ball and looks like he has his eye on the end zone.
Time out! It looks like these puppers need a hydration break. This portion of the game is brought to you by Kong.
So if you aren't familiar with Kong, you might be familiar with this guy. So this is not only a great toy, it's a great training tool, and it's also great to help prevent and problem solve. And it's also, it's good for keeping your dog calm. As you can see Zaya here, she's laying down going to town on her stuffed Kong. So when we introduce our Kong, the first thing we want to do is stuff it. So figure out, what does your dog love to eat? Does your dog have a sensitive stomach? Does he have allergies? That's okay. What can he eat? Remember, anything this dog safe can go into a Kong. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna stuff our Kong, but we're only gonna put a little bit in there because we want it to be an easy win. And then we're gonna help our dog be successful. So get excited. Remember, the dog feeds off of your energy. So we're gonna help our dog knock it around, get everything out of it. As the dog gets more confident, he's gonna get faster, and then we're gonna stuff it a little bit tighter and a little bit tighter. Once he's successful, we're gonna freeze it after we stuff it to make it last longer. So not only is it gonna up the challenge, but it's also going to help mentally and physically enrich your dog. So next time you introduce a Kong, try stuffing it with something super yummy that your dog loves and see how excited he gets.
Howdy-ho, it's Stingo and Josie from 102.1 and WDRM. Welcome back to the Dog Bowl, sports and puppy fans.
These little pups are finishing up their hydrating after an intense first half of the ball game.
We have one little buddy that may not be quite done just yet. It's been a rough game.
And it looks like we have our first boop of the game. Back at you, little guy.
What's that on the field? It looks like treats have been tossed on the field for motivation.
It's chaos.
They're tackling the referee.
We got pandemonium on the field.
And we have a rejection.
This pup might just not be in the mood for treats during playtime.
Ooh, what a tackle.
That might just be the defensive play of the game for the Stripes.
And there's a penalty flag for a horse collar tackle on the Stripes.
That's going to cost them some yards.
It's been a great game, folks.
We had a great lineup of puppies. Be sure to check out the dogs available for adoption at the Greater Huntsville Humane Society's website.
And that's the Dog Bowl.
Wow, those puppies are live wires for sure, Mark.
Remember, the Greater Huntsville Humane Society has many, many puppies throughout every year that need loving forever homes.
Not to mention dogs that have grown past puppyhood. Many of them will make wonderful pets for families who need maybe a slightly more mature new family member.
You can visit anytime and see all of the sweet noses and soft ears. You can also visit dogball.givesmart.com and bid on one of our wonderful auction items.
You know, speaking of sweet noses, do you know what's coming up next?
VIDs?
More of those, yes sir.
This is the adorable Jeb. He is mainly Rhodesian Ridgeback. Jeb's humans fell in love with him last year when he was featured as one of the Humane Society's adoptable dogs during the 2020 Dog Ball. Jeb's life started off rocky. A kind person found him on the side of the road suffering from multiple scrapes, cuts, and more seriously, a broken jaw. Recovering in the home of a foster family, Jeb worked himself easily into their hearts, and they are now his forever home. Claire DeLune, or Claire for short, is a 2-year-old Havanese. Although Claire had a great, loving start to life, her first human unfortunately became ill, so Claire was adopted into another family. Claire's new home has given her 2 lovely Havanese brothers and 1 Havanese sister. Now she is a fully integrated member of the pack. Claire can be mischievous and loves sneaking quietly around to shred all of the toilet paper. Claire's loving personality, sweet disposition, and adorable appearance make her irresistible. Henry is a 9-month-old Havanese puppy who joined his family during COVID times. His humans have been working from home, and that's just how he likes it. Henry loves being with his family, so there is never any time to be lonely or bored. In fact, one of his favorite things to do is to run errands. Henry's favorite human is his mom. He does not like to be away from her, and she enjoys his constant attention too, because all of Henry's human siblings have homes and furry friends of their own.
Huntsville sure does have some fantastic pups.
And their humans are pretty stellar too.
Speaking of stellar humans, we have some training tips from Sandy with Kong.
Yeah, here's one for you now.
So whenever you introduce a new item, bone, a toy, a Kong, whatever that is, you want to make sure that you always supervise that initial interaction. You want to make sure the dog can't destroy that item and it become a safety issue. And you also want to supervise during play as well. So we want to make sure we keep our dogs safe. So as we go throughout the night, kind of think about your dog and what's going to work for them. And again, always safety first. Looking forward to working with you guys tonight.
That's some solid advice. Thanks, Sandy.
And of course, a big shout out to Kong, who is one of the virtual Dog Ball sponsors. You combine a jar of peanut butter and a Kong, and that dog will be busy for hours.
I know Sandy would want you to go bid on an auction item or 2 right now.
Mark, want to see some more dogs who would probably love a Kong?
So some more VIDs?
Cue them up.
Georgie is a 3.5-year-old West Highland Terrier, or a Westie. Georgie is an incredibly friendly dog. She loves playing fetch. Georgie loves to cuddle, travel, watch TV, and take naps. She spends much of her day looking out the window, keeping watch over her domain. Georgelicious, one of her many nicknames, has been told she won the lottery when her humans made her part of the family. But in truth, her family feels that they won the lottery because she is the most sweet and loving dog ever. Meet Porkchop, Easy Bella, and Boone, 3 distinguished English bulldogs who all joined their family through rescue or owner surrender. Starting with Porkchop, at 6 years old, he's the youngest of the crew. He has a talent for destroying any so-called indestructible toy in under 3 minutes flat. Porkchop has participated in K9 Good Citizen classes and upon successful completion, promptly ate his blue ribbon. Easy Bella is about 7 or 8 years old and is the smallest in the group. Easy's goal in life is to find the best spot for napping and would lounge on the couch 24 hours a day if she could get room service. Boone is 13 or 14 and is fawn-colored. He is the oldest and most ornery of the bunch. Although he has well outlived his breed's general life expectancy, he is still sharp as a tack.
I just love how proud our community is of their furry family members. I have a story for you now about a pup that certainly made her community, as unusual as it was, very proud. And she was an American hero too. Yorkshire Terriers should never be underestimated because of their small size. Though tiny, Smokey's impact on American history was significant. She served during World War II as both an entertainer and a soldier, and on more than one occasion, she was able to save her owner, Bill Wynn's life by letting him know of incoming fire, which earned her honors of bravery. Today, Smokey is honored with a statue in Lakewood, Ohio, near her former home in Cleveland. Smokey was such an extraordinary little dog. Now here comes a break for you to let your pups out, or make them some popcorn. At least we know that's what they'll think.
At Tito's Handmade Vodka, dogs have been part of our story for over 20 years. Since we started, strays have been wandering up to the distillery. We feed them, get them healthy, and someone here always falls in love and brings them home. They chose us early on, so we were naturally inspired to help them in every way we can. We're vodka for dog people. Our program is built on over 800 annual animal-related nonprofit partnerships, events, and campaigns. Each one shares the goal to better lives of pets and their families far and wide. We support other companies' efforts to create dog-friendly work environments like ours. And 100% of the net proceeds from dog swag sold in our web store benefit Emancipet's affordable veterinary services at their ever-expanding system of clinics. There's always dogs around at Tito's. We wouldn't know what to do without them.
Face the forces of nature with confidence. Whatever tomorrow brings, rest assured the Weather Authority has you covered. From helping you conquer your day,
If you're wondering how in the world am I supposed to dress today,
to helping you stay aware.
So take things slow and safe this morning.
We don't just cover the what, but the why.
Now, the reason it's so cold and dry is because of this area of high pressure.
Trained and dedicated, our team helps you feel ready for the day. We are the Weather Authority.
The Humane Society really does have wonderful support in our community.
Now, Mark, have you ever been to an adoption event?
I love going to adoption events, and it's so hard not to take all of the puppies home with me.
Well, then it's probably a good thing you don't have a bigger car. For those of you at home, I recommend showing up in the biggest van you can possibly find.
Dogs are such an amazing part of our lives, and it's so important to take care of their grooming needs to keep them healthy.
Now, if you need any tips, here are some from the ASPCA.
The ASPCA recommends bathing your dog at least once every 3 months, but some may require more frequent baths if he or she spends a lot of time outdoors or has skin problems. Regular grooming with a brush or comb will help keep your pet's hair in good condition by removing dirt, spreading natural oils throughout their coat, preventing tangles, and keeping their skin clean and irritant-free. Regularly brushing your dog's teeth, along with a healthy diet and plenty of chew toys, can go a long way toward keeping their mouth healthy.
All great recommendations.
Our VIDs certainly don't look like they need any grooming tips.
No, very true. Sharp-looking group.
Ready for another joke?
Sure.
A dog walks into a job center. Wow, a talking dog, says the clerk. With your talent, I'm sure we can find you a gig in the circus. The circus, says the dog. Why would the circus need a plumber?
Oh, because to him he's just a plumber, not a talking dog, and not a... Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to more VIDs.
That's a really good idea.
Nova is a cuddly English golden retriever. When her humans first saw her, it was love at first sight because she was the cutest white fluff ball they had ever seen. Nova has all her human family wrapped around her little paw. She gets plenty of snuggles and treats every morning before going on her daily walk. When she meets you in the street, she will likely plant herself on the ground, demanding to have her belly rubbed before agreeing to move on. Nova loves spending time outside, running for balls, chewing whatever she can find, and spirited games of tug. Nova is so sweet, funny, and cute. She is the perfect four-legged family member. Asher was adopted on September 25, 2013 from Adopt a Golden Rescue in Nashville. He was 1 year old. These days, Asher is a distinguished 7-year-old. He enjoys walks, riding in the car, doggy play dates, going to Home Depot, and shopping at Bridge Street. Asher is a Hebrew word that means happy or blessed. True to his name, Asher has brought much happiness into the lives of his humans, and they feel blessed to have him.
Are you still trying to out-joke me, Mark? Because that plumber joke needs a little work. Okay, I've got one for you. What do you call a wild dog that meditates? A werewolf. Get it? Okay, so, well, here's a story about a pup who is definitely no joke. In the early 1900s, there was a Siberian husky named Balto. You may have heard of him. He was pretty well known. He was a sled dog who belonged to Leonard Seppala, and he was the lead on a team of sled dogs who pulled the final leg of the Sarum Run to Nome, Alaska in 1925. This run transported a diphtheria antitoxin that was badly needed to combat an outbreak there. Balto lived to be 14 and can now be visited in the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. Pretty amazing, right?
What a truly incredible story.
Balto inspired books and movies.
And he's even got his own statue in Central Park.
Kyle, can you believe we've come to the end? This is our last VID.
No, I can't, and they really have been wonderful this year.
Let's take a look at our final pack.
Teddy started off life a little rough. When his human found him, he was covered in fleas and didn't have very much hair. But look at him now. A happy and healthy boy, Teddy loves costumes and squeaky toys. He enjoys playing fetch and traveling with his human. Teddy is a snuggle bug and loves to cuddle. Teddy's special skill is making treats disappear without even chewing. He likes to be a pup on the go, exploring the world. The French Bulldog, also known as the Frenchie, is always one of the most popular breeds in the U.S. This pack of Frenchies are Lovey, Phoebe, Trixie, and Harry. Don't think that Harry gets pushed around by this gaggle of gals. You can tell by his strut he's the sheriff in town, even though it's Phoebe who thinks she's in charge. Lovey is the marshmallow of the group, and Trixie, well, everyone knows not to mess with her because she means business. They all love playing, chewing, stirring up trouble, and instigating play fights, as well as snuggling and taking beauty naps together. This group is indeed true to the breed by exhibiting that uniquely Frenchy trait of being the sweetest, most insistent, and stubborn love bugs ever. Titus entered this world in April of 2017 as the proverbial runt of the litter. 8 short weeks later, this regal, soft-coated Wheaten Terrier became the joy and central attraction of his entire family. Casting aside his runt status, he soon became known for his soft coat, his big heart, and his athletic endurance. For the past 3 years, Titus has held the title of being the family favorite, and like his biblical namesake, he is a comfort to everyone he meets.
Thanks again to all of our exceptional VIDs, and of course, they're people too.
What a wonderful tradition to be a part of.
Now remember, if you haven't checked out the auction items on dogball.givesmart.com, there is still time. Finish your drink and go aggressively outbid somebody.
Everyone loves watching puppies playing football, and tonight we've had our own version.
Now we'll take a look at some of our Hall of Famers.
These are some of the adult shelter dogs who've graduated from puppydom, but still have all of the charm and love to give.
Trusty is a great boy with lots of love to give. He can be a little shy at first, but warms up after just a few minutes. He's an attractive guy who loves running and playing. Trusty is smart and responds very well to training and basic obedience. Trusty, no longer available for adoption, has found a forever home. Scooter is a handsome, friendly brindle pup who is coming into his prime. He walks well on a leash and is working to become an obedience champ. He gets along well with other dogs and has a wonderful happy-go-lucky personality. Good thing for Scooter, he's found a forever home. Ladybug, very much loved by her previous family, may have had too many treats. Though this Hall of Famer needs to return to a more active lifestyle, Ladybug is still a happy, healthy lady. She looks forward to meeting the family that can make this journey with her. Max is an attractive and friendly little guy who loves to play. This Hall of Famer is smart and a good listener. Max likes to be in the mix. He's working on learning basic obedience commands. Max has found a forever home, and he's well on his way.
Every year, the Dog Ball receives the generous donation of an expense-paid trip to the Westminster Dog Show.
Yeah, the generous sponsor for this trip is Dunnigan, Yates, and Allison Cosmetic Surgery Center. With us tonight to speak about this fantastic trip and congratulate the auction participant who wins it is Dr. Yates.
It is always a pleasure for Dunnigan, Yates, and Allison Plastic Surgery Center to sponsor the Westminster Dog Show experience. The feedback that we hear from past winners is that this trip is an experience of a lifetime to be in the company of so many amazing dogs at such an exciting event. Our congratulations to the winner, whom we know will have a great time at the show.
Okay, fellas, all joking aside, tonight has been so much fun.
I know we would all rather be dressed in our finest and sipping cocktails in person.
It's been our pleasure to bring you a lighthearted substitute for this year's Dog Ball, and we hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Now, one last giant thank you to all the Dog Ball sponsors, donors, all the volunteers, and all of the committee members.
Without you, this event, live or virtual, would not be possible.
Let's all take care of ourselves and do our best to stay well so that next year we can have an in-person event.
Thank you all, and good night.